Hello friends. Welcome to the Audiobooks Library channel. Have you ever poured your heart, soul, and life savings into a dream project, only to launch it into the world and hear absolutely nothing but heartbreaking silence? Today, we are going to save you from that crushing pain with The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, a revolutionary guide offering the core wisdom that building a successful business isn't about perfectly executing a brilliant plan, but about learning what your customers truly want as quickly as humanly possible. Here are the main points you'll learn from this summary. How to stop wasting years building products that nobody actually wants to buy. The life-saving magic of creating a minimum viable product, MVP. The continuous cycle of build, measure, and learn to guide your journey. How to embrace validated learning instead of relying on feel-good vanity metrics. Knowing exactly when to pivot your direction and when to bravely persevere. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, foggy ocean, tasked with building a magnificent ship. The traditional way of thinking tells you to stay on the shore for years, blindly drawing up perfect blueprints, spending every last penny to construct a flawless vessel before you ever touch the water. But Eric Ries takes us by the hand and shows us the tragic flaw in this approach. What if you build the most beautiful ship in the world, only to discover that your passengers actually wanted an airplane? This is the heartbreaking reality for countless dreamers who spend years in isolation building a perfect product, only to launch it to a public that simply doesn't care. The Lean Startup invites us on a completely different, much safer journey. Instead of building the whole ship in the dark, it asks you to quickly tie a few logs together, build a simple raft, and push it into the water right away. This tiny, imperfect raft is what we call a minimum viable product. It isn't meant to be beautiful, it is meant to test the waters of reality. The moment you push this raft out, you begin the most important cycle of your entrepreneurial life. Build, measure, learn. You build the raft, you measure how it floats and how people react to it, and then you learn what needs to be fixed. If the raft leaks, you don't cry over a failed master plan. You quickly patch the hole and try again. This journey shifts our entire mindset away from arrogant guessing and towards humble, beautiful learning. You stop looking at fake numbers that massage your ego, and you start looking at the hard, honest truth of human behavior. You discover what your customers truly desire, not what you think they desire. As you ride this raft through the waves of uncertainty, you will eventually hit a critical crossroads. The wind will push against you, and you will have to look deep into your own soul and make the hardest choice of all. Do I pivot, or do I persevere? Because you haven't wasted years building a massive, unchangeable ship, you are light, agile, and free to change your sails. If the current direction isn't working, you pivot with grace, taking all the precious lessons you've learned and steering toward a brighter horizon. By the end of this journey, you are no longer a blind gambler betting everything on a single, risky idea. You are a wise, adaptable explorer who navigates the chaotic waters of business with absolute confidence and clear, unshakable purpose. The moral of this story is that your ultimate goal is not to be a perfect visionary who never makes a mistake, but to be the fastest, most humble learner in the room. By embracing failure as a profound teacher, you protect your dreams from the crushing weight of reality and guide them safely to the shores of success. Don't build a massive product in secret. Launch a simple version quickly to see if people even care. Treat every single idea you have as an assumption that must be tested in the real world immediately. Never fall in love with your original plan. Fall in love with solving your customer's actual problem. Focus on honest, actionable numbers rather than vanity metrics that just make you feel good. Be brave enough to change your entire direction when the real-world feedback tells you to pivot. That's all for today. Thank you, and please take great care of yourselves.